5, closing arguments begin tomorrow in the Delphi murders trial. The defense resting its case today. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Chelsea Helms.
And I'm Bob Donaldson. That testimony ended today with rebuttal witnesses. CBS 4's Max Lewis joins us live in Delphi now. Max, another new witness took the stand today.
Yeah, that's right. Good evening, Bob and Chelsea. Yeah, the defense rested its case this morning, really shortly after court began, and then the prosecution was given an opportunity to rebut the case the defense had just presented over the past few days. The prosecution focused almost all of their time today on those confessions that Mr. Allen made while in prison, and whether or not he was psychotic when he made those statements clearly shows that is really key to their case at this point. They called, as you mentioned, Bob, Dr. John Martin to the stand. He was the prison psychiatrist and in charge of Allen's mental medical care. We did not hear from him when either side presented their case. Now, when Dr. Martin first saw Richard Allen in November of 2022, he said he was stable, he had no problems, and it wasn't until he was called to the prison in April of 2023, about 6 months later, that Dr. Martin determined that Allen was psychotic after seeing him lying naked on the floor of his cell, covered in his own feces. He decided to give him an involuntary injection of an antipsychotic medication known as Haldol, and said that Mr. Allen's symptoms did improve. And then when he saw him in early May, he saw no evidence of psychosis and didn't see any for some months after that. Now, during a session with Mr. Allen in mid-June, Dr. Martin told the jury today that Allen told him he would like to apologize to the families of his victims. He said that unprovoked, but he didn't provide any specifics. Again, this is at a time when Dr. Martin did say that he did not view any signs of psychosis in Mr. Allen. However, during cross-examination, the defense played a video of Mr. Allen from the same day as that meeting with Dr. Martin. That video showed Allen strapped to a chair in what appeared to be a medical wing of the prison. He was being given a checkup, and he appeared completely catatonic, just staring blankly forward, and his head fell to the side at one point, but it really appeared lifeless when they played that video. Defense attorney Brad Rosie then asked Dr. Martin if that video changes his thinking about whether or not Allen was psychotic in June of 2023 when he made that statement, and the doctor said it did. The jury then asked Dr. Martin if it appeared that Allen was faking those symptoms, as he said, but he said no, but he did say it would be possible for Allen to slip in and out of a psychosis in about a 24-hour period. Notably, to me, the prosecution did not do any rebuttal to the very important phone data that we heard from yesterday that really just basically destroyed the prosecution's timeline of how this crime actually occurred. The defense didn't do any rebuttal witnesses, and then the judge turned to the jury, told them they had heard all the evidence that they were going to hear in this case. Closing arguments begin tomorrow morning, and then of course everything is going to be in the jury's hands. They will be the ultimate decider on whether Richard Allen is innocent or guilty. Live in Delphi tonight, I'm Max Lewis, CBS 4 News.
Max, thank you. CBS 4 coverage continues at 5:30. Legal analyst and attorney John Tompkins will join us in the studio. You can always find updates online at cbs4indy.com/Delphi. You can also click on the Delphi Murders Trial tab at the top of our homepage.